Three, two, one. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Just Learn Crypto Show. Today we're here with Shash Gupta. He's the co-founder and CEO of AltcoinBuzz. So happy to have him on. Recently started following him on Twitter, checked out his YouTube channel, checked out his website. It's really refreshing to see someone have such an in-depth take on altcoins and the altcoin market. So Shash, thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it.
Hey Sean, thanks for having me. How's it going?
It's, you know what, man, any better. And it can't get any better, man. Life's good. So tell me a little bit about how you got into crypto, and like how long have you been in the space, and what was kind of the inspiration to starting Altcoin Buzz?
Yeah, so for me, I started my career as a lawyer. I was practicing corporate law and also a bit of criminal law in India for a while. But I always realized that I wanted to do something in business because parallel to that, I had huge passion about music and I was doing a music business on the side as well. But putting the two industries together, one thing I realized is that there has to be another industry like the internet at some point of time which has money in it and is new, right?
Mm-hmm.
And these industries are very interesting. So it could be something which is popping up like VR or AI and stuff like that. However, when I got introduced to Bitcoin, mostly in 2014, I didn't really pay too much heed. But in 2016, I was looking at the space in general, right? Like which industries are doing well. And then something about crypto and Bitcoin just caught my eye. And I was like, well, this is worth exploring. So I took sort of a sabbatical from everything I was doing. And I was like, let's understand this space. For a year, I didn't really do anything. I didn't invest. I didn't really do much. But I, 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 I just spent my time understanding what is going on, right? Because it's not easy to understand.
Yeah.
Like it's not easy to understand this space if you really look deeply into it. It's like everything is like, even if you go to the most popular website, Coin Market Cap, it's hard to differentiate between Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance, and any other
Mm-hmm.
coin which is out there. It's like just different logo and different price, but what does it all mean? Where is the value behind it? So I spent a year just like talking to anyone and everyone I can find, understanding perspective, see how they survive. It's easy to get access to people in crypto. So that made me realize that maybe looking at a business which is more media centric would be will have more longevity in it, because when the markets are up, people want to know what's happening. When markets are down, people want to know what's happening. So in the middle of 2017, me and my partner Jeff, we ventured into getting into Altcoin Buzz. He'd actually started the YouTube channel when it had about 1,000 subscribers, and I was like, I want to do research, and he was like, yeah, and he was really good at creating content. So he kind of put our forces together, and I had a legal background, so I could kind of take care of the business and the legal side of things. And we started doing this for fun, really. Like this was just like a fun passion project. I didn't realize that it'll end up becoming my uh 24-hour career sort of a thing.
Well,
Yeah.
that's cool, man. So, I mean, that's awesome that, I mean, I love hearing from anyone when they're able to take something they're passionate about and turn it into a career. I think that's one of the most beautiful things that can happen in someone's life is, that old saying that if, you're doing something you're passionate about, you'll never work a day in your life. So, kudos to you, man. I dove kind of full into the crypto space as well in 2017, quit my job to build up Just Learn Crypto, and ended up kind of burning out from it, needed to take a bit of a break. So it's, gotten back to a point now where I'm doing it for fun, and my passion is just through the roof again, where it was kind of drifting away for a little while. So tell me like a little bit more in detail about what Altcoin Buzz does. So you guys have a YouTube channel, Twitter, and a website. What are kind of the main purposes of the website, I guess?
It's about being updated on what's happening in the crypto space.
Okay.
Basically, we want to be a resource for anyone who's new in the space or anybody who just wants to overview the space. So we don't try to do anything which is deep technology, deep business, deep uh, you know, TA and stuff. We kind of try to keep it simple so that if anybody is looking for basic knowledge about the news happenings, understanding of what is a specific token about, uh, yeah, that's the website right there.
Yeah,
That's
man.
what we do. Simple, easy to understand.
I like it, man. It's easy to go through. Um, you guys have a lot of content on here. That's really cool. So, walk me through. Are there any special features of the website? I see at the top here we've got crypto news. So you've got blockchain technology, business partnerships, cryptocurrency regulation, finance and funding, product release and updates, spotlight. And then there's a section here for passive income. So, what's the passive income side about? I see master nodes and mining. Those are the two categories.
Yeah, so passive income is like in crypto, as you know, right? Like there are ways that you can make additional income earning coins by doing either staking or mining. And sometimes you can get airdrops and stuff. So we essentially try to cover how these can be done.
Cool.
But of late, the interest in getting passive income in the audience in general through earning cryptocurrencies isn't too high, because it sort of has a network effect, right? Like when your coins value is going up, then your passive income's value is going up. But
Hmm.
right now the market's pretty much hit rock bottom, so that interest has kind of dwindled away. People have lost money on the passive income coins that they weren't as well. So yeah, but if you go to the website, the new section that we've started, and the one which is very near and dear to me personally, is the blockchain gaming segment. And
Cool.
I
I'm
personally feel,
gonna pull it up here. So where would I find the gaming section on here?
um,
In the home? On the
yeah,
home?
blockchain games right there, right next to podcast.
Oh, right here. Perfect. Blockchain games. All right. So we've got Engine Marketplace finally here. Blockchain gaming and crypto items will be huge. So what's the premise of the blockchain gaming? So this is kind of like the newest feature to the website. Is this one of the newest
Correct.
things that you guys have done?
Yeah, this is like the latest segment that we've launched on the website.
Cool.
It's a new world out there, man. Like what we had the with the ICOs and ideas and stuff is actually very similar to what's happening with blockchain gaming, but far more refined, far more structured, and makes way more sense than what we had seen earlier. There is a lot of reasonable stuff happening here, with games actually making good demos, actually trying to build games, actually trying to raise reasonable amounts of money to build something that the audience, the users might be interested in. But it's just the space is even younger than uh, the blockchain space, right? So it is it is extremely early evolution in that space in general. So
So
yeah.
So on through Engine, so Engine's a project I've heard about, and I haven't done a lot of research on, but I've seen a lot of things on your website talking about Engine. So does Engine make their own games, or are they like a layer that existing video games can add on so that people can earn crypto? Like what's Engine all about? If you don't mind explaining it to me a little bit.
Yes, that's like my favorite question ever, man.
Cool.
uh, so here's the thing: blockchain technology allows you for the first time to own your own asset.
Hmm.
Now that asset can be a Bitcoin, it could be an Ethereum, or it could be a non-fungible token as well, right? So earlier, if you had a digital item, you had to put it on a server, and that item could be copied, the code could be copied. But now you can own an item in your wallet. Nobody can take it from you, but they can see it,
Hmm.
right? And that changes the way things used to work tremendously. Now there is a possibility that a gamer can have their game items that they bought in a specific game with themselves, and these game items can further be used by other game developers to incorporate as game items in their games as well. Let me make it simple. Let's get back to Engine, right? So in Engine, what they have built is an ecosystem that allows you to be able to make game items, use these game items within various games. uh, you can fundraise by selling these game items before, to build your game in the future. At the same time, it's all on the blockchain, which you can see how much value it has in terms of uh, how much engine it is backed by. So one of the key features of the technology is this protocol called ERC1155.
Hmm.
It's like the ERC20 and ERC720 protocol, but this allows you to have a non-fungible token backed by engine coin itself.
Okay.
So that means there is an underlying asset to every game item which is made. So there is a bare minimum value to it, but there is additional value depending on the use case of it within the game, depending on who's made that item, because you can make different types of collectibles on it. Like we've been minting items like blockchain items since I think October 2018, October last year.
Okay.
And we've been making these items and giving away to our audience just because it's cool, right? Like
Hmm.
we never had the ability to give away anything. We've not done anything which is kind of cool, and this was a lot of fun, and these were all backed by engine token itself. So there was a bit of an underlying value to it. It's like we did spend money in making that as well.
Yeah.
um, then the other fun part of it is that if you're a game developer and you raise, let's assume, $10,000 to make a game, right? But that game doesn't do too well, but you want to make a new game. So your previous people who bought those $10,000 worth of collectibles, you can give them a use case for what they've bought in your next game as well. Hence, not eliminating and disappointing your previous users as well.
Hmm.
The possibilities of what can be done with blockchain gaming, the way I see it right now, is pretty endless. Like there is so much that can be done, and there is so much that will be done, and there is so much ease of use to convert real world gamers into uh, blockchain item holders, right? Like ideally, the path that we are with on blockchain gaming, which is we will build items and people will play these games and they will use these items. It's very nascent, right? The goal will be when companies like Blizzard, companies like EA, right,
Hmm.
and Ubisoft, when these guys start incorporating blockchain game items within their ecosystem, creating small economies, building communities that buy and trade game items, that's when we would have had something substantially good. But right now, it's very nascent. Right now, it's all about small, independent game developers trying to make these games and bringing it out to an audience, which is mostly a crypto audience, because even the exchanges that are being built for exchanging these game items, such as OpenSea, are all trading using Ethereum, right? So
Hmm.
having a real world gamer to actually understand that and getting into buying game items with Ethereum, you can see it's all too early right now. And
Yeah, it's too
people,
complicated, man. People need to
yeah,
have Ethereum in a wallet. They need to have it to send gas. They need to.
yeah,
It's not going to
exactly.
promote. It's not going to be an easy way to get new people into the space. And I agree, man. I think the gaming industry right now is friggin' huge.
Yeah,
We're seeing more people turning out to watch kids play video games and video game
yeah,
tournaments like EA Sport tournaments and stuff than people that are going to actual sporting events. And I think there's a huge demographic of people that are going to be forced to get into crypto once that on ramp becomes a little easier and once it becomes more widely used. Like, I mean, the way I see it, I mean, imagine if like developers and stuff could be making special guns, special cars for Grand Theft Auto, and then being able to sell them, in a private economy for that. Like that would be badass, man. And if it was easy enough that people didn't need to understand Ethereum and the blockchain, it would just be everyday gamers that would be using this technology. I think it would be super cool, man.
It's ready though. So Engine yesterday launched their marketplace,
Okay.
uh, which allows you to sell your game item on their wallet as well. So you can, their wallet is amazing. Like
Hmm.
their wallet, you can trade. Like they have integrated Kyber, Changely, and what's the third one? Bancor.
Okay.
So if you want to trade Bitcoin to any other coin or USDT or Paxos to anything else, it's all incorporated with swap technology within the wallet using these three APIs. You can keep your game items in it. The design looks amazing. It's slick. But I don't work for Engine or anything.
No,
I'm
you're
very
just,
excited
I
over
can
what
tell
they're
you're
building.
excited about it. So
Yeah.
it sounds like they've made like one of the coolest cryptocurrency wallets out there right now. Like this might be
Yeah,
one of the most user friendly and
it is.
like it seems like it does a lot of different things, right? That's cool. I haven't checked it out. So when we're done this call, it's gonna be the first thing I do is check it
Check it
out, man.
out. Send me a wallet address. I'll drop in a few items for you.
Cool, thank
One
you.
of Oh, so look at this, right? For us, what do we want, right? We want to engage our community and get new people into crypto. So we launched a game item that we gave away to our audience for free, of course.
Hmm.
But this game item can be used. This blockchain item can be used in 4 games.
Okay.
Same item. It is an altcoin buzz skin in one game. It is a gun in another game. It is a magical potion in one game, and it is and something else in another game, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
all these 4 games, they we want to promote these games, but I don't want to promote them just by saying, "Hey, check out this game; it's amazing." I haven't played it yet because many of them don't have games out, but
Hmm.
this helps me kind of introduce actual game items that can be used within the game. And if somebody has it, tries the game, that's when we have real adoption, right? Like the big question in crypto is actual value within businesses and cryptocurrencies using adoption. Like that's the big problem to solve. And
Yeah.
we do it mostly by testing out products, seeing what can be used, actually using it, and just talking about why it works and how it needs to be fixed. And the more projects and the products we use, we realize it's very early. It's everything is super early. Like there are so many technology, business, marketing, UX UI issues that exist with all multiple platforms, that it will take us a little more time to have real value due to mass adoption. And yeah, well, that's something which is good and bad at the same time.
Yeah, we're so early, man. I mean, look at 2017. Look at the ICO market. Like that in itself should show just the how early we still are in crypto. We're barely over a decade into this brand new technology, and there's a lot of opinions out there. There's a lot of people who say they're experts, and I don't think there's really any experts yet. I mean, I don't think we have the technology well rounded enough to say that there are many experts in the space. So let's talk about altcoins a little bit, man. Obviously, altcoins are a huge passion of yours, hence the name of your company, AltcoinBuzz. So what are some problems in the altcoin space right now, and where do you think altcoins are going? And I mean, obviously you're not a Bitcoin maximalist, so that's refreshing because I've had a few talks with some of them and it's like talking to a wall. But what's
No,
going on
man.
with so yeah, sorry, let me rephrase my question. So what are some of the problems that you're seeing with altcoin market right now, and where do you think the altcoin market is going?
So, like coming back to the initial point that you were talking about, the space in general, right? I think one of the big problems is that people don't understand Bitcoin that well. Like I spend most of my time understanding it. Bitcoin for the last 3 years, pretty much.
Hmm.
Why Bitcoin is because that is where all the regulations are taking place. That is what everybody's talking about. That's where people want to kind of pay their attention to, right? I mean, there could be a possibility, like if we remove all the wash trading and everything, Bitcoin could actually have a 90% market cap at this moment, right? Like uh, 90% of the total crypto market cap could be Bitcoin. And it has serious value for what it has been through in the last 10 years. We've seen wars between miners. We've seen wars between miners and uh, developers
Hmm.
within Bitcoin. We've seen forks. We've seen 20 or 40 bugs on Bitcoin in the early days that were fixed by Satoshi himself. And uh, how people have been using and how it became decentralized, right? Like the story of somebody buying two slices of pizza or two pizzas for $10,000, right? That shows that is actually one of the first recorded that's the first recorded transaction with
Hmm.
Bitcoin to pay
I
anything.
think it was for 10,000 Bitcoins, not $10,000.
Yes. Yes, correct. It's
Yeah.
worth way more now.
That's,
Yeah.
yeah, that was like a multi-million dollar, in today's value, like crazy
Yeah,
amount.
there's a Twitter page dedicated to it, and it said like $107 million or something was the value of
Jeez.
that. But that's not the point, right? The point is that was its value at that point of time, and
Hmm.
somebody used it to buy something.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Bitcoins weren't used to buy anything, and we couldn't find much of such trades before that happened. And that has serious value in understanding why Bitcoin has value over time, right? This is not a story of a fool who lost 10,000 Bitcoins on two pizzas, right? That's a story of how Bitcoin gained value in the last 10 years. Like
Hmm.
that forms a piece of history of storytelling of Bitcoin. Like, here's the thing, right? When we were young, even if you watch like television and you see Uncle Scrooge swimming in gold, right? And then he's rich. That shows that, well, gold is expensive, right?
Yep.
The kings wear golden crowns and stuff. And what we need to take from that is gold has its history. Like, it has years in the making. It's in fables, it's in all stories, the whole world. In every story there is a king who has gold, right?
Hmm.
That's not the case with Bitcoin. Like, where is the value in Bitcoin without 100-year, 200-year history? And that will take time. We will take a long time for Bitcoin to get there. So now, coming to altcoins, uh, w- w- what happened in 2017 is the technology story became stronger than the decentralization story. So everybody thought that good tech is the way to go ahead, right? But the story of Bitcoin is not tech as much. Like, of course, it is unbelievably good tech, right?
Hmm.
Like, what we have with Bitcoin is unbelievable. But yes, it is like, what, two transactions per second, like slow, expensive fees, etc. And the development team of Bitcoin is conservative, right? Whereas altcoins, they're more progressive.
Hmm.
And the Bitcoin development team, like, they treat editing anything in the Bitcoin code as changing of the engine of a 747 mid-flight with people on it, right?
Yeah.
Like, and we will scale, like, things will gonna get better.
Hmm.
But coming to the point about altcoins, right? So what happened is that there was this way that people thought that, hey, we can be the next bigger Bitcoin. We can be Bitcoin because we're better at technology. And everyone did fall for that. And people were like, yeah, this is faster, 1 million transactions per second. Yeah, go baby. But it's not going to work out, right? Like, that's not the key thing. Like, technology is very important, right? Don't get me wrong, but that's not the only thing that makes Bitcoin valuable. There is much more. Like, it's the network that it is.
and
Like,
the
it
and the
is
history behind it too, right? I mean, it's
everything. Yes. So with altcoins, it is important to understand Bitcoin first before anybody invests into altcoins. Like once you understand why Bitcoin has value, why it has gained value, what it is about, then you can understand altcoins. But altcoins has a very different way of looking at it. Many altcoins are businesses, right? Like if you look at, let's take Binance for example.
Mhm.
Now Binance is a pretty much a centralized business, right? They have a coin that has a utility within this business, and people want to use Binance coin to do stuff that their ecosystem provides, and some external uh, uh, companies want to use Binance in their ecosystem because they think Binance users are manifold, right? Their coins users are manifold. But will Binance be able to compete with a Bitcoin? That's never going to happen. But will Binance coin have exponential gains at where it is now? Yes. But we need to look at it from how you would invest in a company. You would invest in Bitcoin as you would invest in something which is of macro
Yeah,
investment.
but I think the thing people don't realize is that I know some people do. It's that you're not like there's a big difference between owning the Binance coin and owning a share in Google. You know, like you're not
Correct.
and a lot of people, I think they're confused about that and especially in 2017 when we had the ICO buzz, people were like,
Correct.
"Oh man, I'm investing in this company before they go live. I'm going to own a part of this." No, you don't own a part of this company.
No.
You own a token that may or may not have utility and may or may not have value. And you know, people need to realize that it's you know, it's not ownership in the company. It's just you own a piece of this currency that this company has utility within the company for. So Binance is a perfect example of that because,
But it has value, right?
oh, of
Like
course, it
the
has
point
value.
the point is that it has a utility within the ecosystem. And I think the way Binance works as a business is one of the smartest businesses out there. You can love it, you can hate it, right? Like but from my perspective, we have to be extremely objective into analyzing, is this a good business decision or not? Like, of course, man, like if I was to invest, I will see who the people are behind it. Do they have the right understanding of business? Are they mentally stable and stuff, right? These are questions that you would ask before
Yeah.
you buy into anything. But when you see the business decisions that Binance has been taken over time, you realize that, wow, like these guys are really smart. They use the Cosmos Tendermint SDK for their token, which was extremely intelligent. As a decision, they decided to burn about $2.4 billion worth of their coins, like 42% of their supply, to get more decentralization. The decisions that they're taking are smart. Like most companies are not able to do it. They were the first company to do an an XRP pairing with another coin, right? And these decisions aren't easy, right? Like these decisions just don't happen if you're not paying attention to what the community needs. And that makes it super interesting for me to kind of look at it from where these uh, companies in crypto are headed. But the way I would look at it, like one thing that I do look at it is I see the cryptocurrencies and I divide them into maybe 3 or 4 different segments. One would be cryptocurrency, which will be stuff like Bitcoin and Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash and Dash and Digibyte and
Mhm.
Electronium and all these, right? So these are currencies. Their goal is payments. And
Mhm.
then you have Monero and Zcash and all the privacy coins and stuff.
And Epic
These would be,
Cash.
sorry?
I said an Epic Cash. I got to shout them out. They're one of my sponsors.
Cool. Yeah, but so then you have these currencies which want to be means of payments, right? And then you have these tokens which are not essentially having their own blockchain, aren't necessarily decentralized, but they have a utility within the ecosystem, right? And then the third one would be the crypto items, all these NFTs which are on ERC 720 and ERC 1155, and then you have ERC 721, all these like items that can be used within games and stuff. So
Mhm.
dividing them into like, and then of course I forgot, and then you have crypto assets which are security tokens, right? And we need to start looking at all four of them from a very different perspective. Like, we can't be comparing apples to oranges anymore. Like, we have to evolve the ecosystem in a way that it makes more sense. We can't be comparing um, a ERC 720 CryptoKitty to Binance coin, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. So then how do we divide them? So these are the four categories where I've started looking at, which ones make more sense. And then each of these categories will have different parameters, various parameters with which they can be judged, right? How much is the history of a coin? It would matter more than how much is the history of a company,
Hmm.
because a company with a good idea, good business practices, could actually do well with their coin over a cryptocurrency. So the parameters are very different for a crypto asset, a crypto token, a cryptocurrency, and a crypto item. So those, I suddenly made four different categories for you, my friend.
I like
This
it,
is
man.
first time
It's
live.
you've got my brain thinking differently about altcoins now. So kudos. So what do you think? I mean, do you think we're gonna see another? Do you think we're ever gonna see another altcoin market like we saw in 2017?
That's a good question. What I think is we will see an altcoin market, but not altcoin market bull run, but not for stuff that we are holding. You know,
Okay.
like the point I'm trying to make is that it has become an extremely complicated space to make sense out of. 4 days ago, 5 days ago, Coinbase announced that they're thinking of listing 17 different coins, right? And I had access to none of them. You have access to none of them. Like, we literally have no access to these projects that will 10x or 100x on day one. So will the bull market happen? Yes, but we just won't have those coins for which the bull market will happen. And the opportunities are making less and less sense at this moment. Though I think it's not without hope. There are two ways to make money in crypto, right? One is actual adoption, which we haven't seen much of. Like, the Binance coin could be the only project that has had adoption, and the value could be backed by the number of users it has, but nothing else does. And the next is speculation, right? And there is just a lot of speculation in this space without a lot of adoption. That makes things extremely tricky, because a speculator might leave at any point he or she feels like I want to get out. And that's when you see the volatility in the space, because speculators come in, they do their thing, and then they get out. But if there is actual adoption, you will have more stable coins. You will have coins which build value slowly over time. And uh, it's now a very complicated space, is because Coinbase decided to talk about 17 projects that don't even have ticker, right? Not all of them have a ticker right now. There are no working products right now. Whereas there are coins like MCO, BNB, ENJ, Tomo Chain, with good working products that have a team that has been actually building something, trying to decentralize their coin, aren't even super VC backed. Are the coins are like either with the team or with the public right now, which should have been considered for the listing. But if these new coins come in, the ones that we're holding will definitely have a hard time getting the 100x's that we are hoping, right? So that's
Yeah.
something to analyze.
Interesting, man. That's very interesting. So I guess like were there any projects in 2017 that you lost your teeth on? Like, were there any ICOs that you invested in that turned out to be a scam? And was there like an aha moment for you where you were like, man, I need to educate people? And is that kind of what helped? How you got into altcoin buzz? Like, was there a moment like that at all for you in 2017?
Well, the thing is that when I started, I literally didn't have much money to put in. So I was like, let's explore this space and see what's going on, right?
Okay.
It wasn't so much about investing, which I think is the easy part, right? Like, buying coins is very easy. But
Well, I think that's one of the best thing. I think that was probably the coolest thing about 2017 was the fact that anyone in the world with a smartphone anyone who had access to
Yeah.
the internet had the opportunity to invest in this global market. And I think that
Gullible
um
market.
well, I mean, it's true, right? I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many
Yeah.
barriers of entry for a lot of people when it comes to, mainstream investments, getting in the stock market, or it's not necessarily an easy thing for to do for some guy living in Africa who doesn't even have a bank account but has a smartphone and access to the internet.
Yeah.
And I thought that was one of the coolest things about 2017 was just how easy it became to invest in a project. You know what? Regardless of the fact that 99% of them were pump and dumps and scams, that was one of the decentralized aspect of it was one of the things that what really interested me.
I don't know if I would say 99% was scams, right? So I spend a lot of time just talking to anyone and everyone who's trying to do something in the crypto space because it's just so small. I feel the intentions of people were not that bad. Like I think I don't know have a percentage in mind, but I think majority of the people didn't really want to scam people. Like they wanted to build something that they had an idea about. It was just that it was too easy for them to make money without even telling an execution plan, making a revenue plan, giving uh, people a way that the token would have utility and value when it has adoption, and none of them had an adoption plan.
Hmm.
They all had a marketing plan, and they all had a like a white paper which was possibly written by somebody else, but they weren't trying to scam people, right? Like at the end of the day, I don't know, like does it bother me? It doesn't bother me because I I looked at it from a very outside perspective. I was like, okay, what is going on, right? Like,
Hmm.
why would you buy this? Like, it didn't make sense to me, and I always questioned my judgment. Like these things don't. Many of them didn't make any sense to me, but I was no authority at that point of time to like kind of figure out. So we're like, okay, this looks like interesting value. This looks like they are doing something right, and there is excitement here. People are getting excited. So let's see what it is about. But over the last like 3 years of just analyzing and seeing what's going on, I think we've become smarter, and I think the audience that exists in the crypto space right now knows better
Hmm.
of what they're doing, what questions to ask, how to find the value, and this will improve and the place will mature even more. Things will become more usable, and we won't have a 2017 again, in my opinion.
No,
Like it's not.
I don't think we will either. So, hey man, next question for you. Who's one of your favorite influencers or educators or content creators in the space right now?
You know who he is, man. Like you had him on your channel, dude. Like
Who?
Andreas Antonopoulos is like a legend, man. Like that every time I feel like, oh my god, like is this space gonna go down? And I instantly go on and watch something of his, and I'm like, bam, like things are all right, man. Like what, like there's nothing to worry about.
He's just got this way, man. He's just got this way of putting people at ease and getting like the message, and not just like it's just the psychology. Like he's really got such a good grasp on why all this stuff is important, and for him to be able to create, the level of passion that I know you feel when he talks, and even myself, without talking about price. It's like he gets it, man. And so I got to agree with you. If I was asked that question, man, Andreas Antonopoulos, he's an OG, and he is such a cool guy. I got to spend the whole day with him when he was here in Calgary. Hands
Lucky
down,
dog.
best day I've had in 2019. So, listen, man, we're gonna wrap things up here. I really appreciate you coming on the show, man, and it's really refreshing to talk to someone who's got such an in-depth view on altcoins, and just I can't wait to dive into your website, start looking through some of your content. Quickly before I wrap things up, can you maybe tell people where they can find Altcoin Buzz, and what the best places to find you guys are?
Sure. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/altcoinbuzz, twitter.com/altcoinbuzzio, uh, altcoinbuzz.io is our website.
Okay.
Um, so those are the three places we're pretty active on. We recently started going a bit crazy on Uptrend, trying to create some exclusive and fun content there. And I wish everybody would check out the kind of cryptocurrency content that even Sean, your content on Uptrend is pretty cool. Like
Thank you, man.
it's been a fun place to be in as well, and that's where we connected as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. So that leads me to the next part, man. I just want to give a huge shout out to my sponsors, Uptrend. They are hands down my favorite social media platform right now. I love posting, interacting with people. It's such an active community on there. I also want to give a shout out to Epic Cash for also sponsoring the YouTube show. Epic Cash is Epic Private Digital Cash. Totally mineable through CPU, GPU, and ASIC mining. And I also want to give a shout out to presearch.org, who is a decentralized search engine that actually pays you in crypto to post. So there's going to be descriptions for all of these sponsors in the description of this video. I'm also going to throw the links to get more in touch and get more active with AltcoinBuzz. Follow them on Twitter, subscribe to their YouTube channel, check out their website. They've got a ton of great content. Shash, thanks for coming on the show. It was really great getting to know you, man. And hopefully we can do this again soon.
Sean, it was awesome to talk to you. Thanks for having me, man.
Awesome, man. Thanks for coming on. And everyone who's watching, have a great day, have a great night, and keep crypto. All right. Cheers.